Hey, I'm Jamey with Stonemaier Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanism in the game Endeavor Deep Sea, which I played for the first time last night in about 2.5 hours. There was about a 20-minute teach, 2-hour gameplay, 4 players. Had a great time, really great time. This is a really satisfying Euro game with an unexpected, at least for me, unexpected sense of discovery and exploration that I look forward to playing more games of this. And I'll just jump right into that actually. This is a game where part of what you're doing is diving down into the ocean to discover different tiles that have different kind of mini games on them. But I'll explain what I mean by that in a second. Some of the tiles look like this. So on the surface, you have tiles that look a little bit like this. And this tile, for example, its primary focus is on sonar. So sonar is the main action you can take here. There's also a benefit you get if you use sonar to discover this tile. There's a benefit you get if you move your boat here. So a little bit like worker movement. You're moving your boat and you get a little benefit. There's also a little bit of a journaling benefit here, but mostly this is a sonar tile. It's defined after that. You can go deeper and deeper down. And one of the things here, I'm not going to show a lot of tiles because I think one of the joys of this game is discovering the tiles as you go. In fact, we played through, in our game, we saw about half of the tiles. I have intentionally not looked through the rest of the tiles in my friend's copy here because I don't want to spoil them. I want to discover them the next time I play the game. But I'm going to show you 2 other examples so I can illustrate my point here. So I showed that this one primarily about sonar. This one, if you go down pretty deep, this is 4 levels down. This one is mostly about journaling. So it's mostly about research. You're in the sponge gardens. You're kind of observing, discovering, learning about the sponge gardens here. That's the main mechanism on that tile. Different actions in the game. And this is it's like a conservation action. I called it turtles in the game, but it's about conservation. This one is about going down into a seamount and discovering deep sea life into this kind of a sea cave down here. Different action again. You can see that. And even on here, there is another type of action here. When you discover this tile, you put some special tokens here that you can use by diving. So that's kind of the act of getting out of your submersible, diving in here and discovering some research, some information down in this seamount. So as you can see, every tile is designed around one or more multiple mechanisms that tie to the theme of that tile. And that really added to the sense of discovery. Where the tiles were on the board mattered because if I discovered something if I was getting pretty good at conservation, but this tile was placed halfway across the board, it's probably one that I wouldn't be able to access, or I'd have to take several turns to move over there to get access to it. So the spatial element tied to how unique each of the tiles feel and how they get a little different, a little weird as you go deeper and deeper down into the ocean. That part of the game was a delight. I really enjoyed that aspect of the game. The discovery, the mechanisms of each tile being quite different. Really, really cool aspect of the game. And I liked that we didn't know that information at the beginning of the game. We were discovering it as we were playing the game. That was really, really satisfying. A few other little mechanisms of the game that stood out. Not little, but other mechanisms that I really enjoyed. All right, a lot of these tiles have links on them. In fact, you can see this mechanism used multiple times here. So on this tile, if any player has taken an action to put a token here, to journal here, and then another player or the same player has taken an action to journal here, this link here, these 2 actions are linked, and both of the players who have tokens here and here get this little bonus because of that link. Same with this other tile that I showed you, this conservation. These are linked. It's not always the same icon. That's just a coincidence, but it's this nice sense of mostly positive player interaction because you are getting that bonus, that benefit, the link benefit only once, even if you have both tokens on either side. But you can do that, but it's often happening where you put one token down and you're hoping that another player will put another token down. In fact, even just by placing a token, you are incentivizing another player to put another token down so that both of you get the benefit. So I really like that linking mechanism in the game. I also think, in fact, this is what I highlighted on the thumbnail image, the built-in progression in the game is really clever. There's a lot of progression in the game related to choices that you make throughout the game, but also the game kind of just helps you level up throughout the game. It's a 6-round game, at least at the 4-player count it was, and at the end or at the beginning of each round, every player gets a specialist, a special tile that has an action space on it where you can take an action on that tile. And every player gets some income. They get some more tokens. They get to refresh some of the tokens that they place, the action tokens they place. Really cool action system in the game related to this this board that you're building. This defines like how many tokens you're getting each round, how many tokens you're taking off each round, and you're putting these tokens on these specialist tiles. And so at the beginning of every round, you are just leveling up. You're getting that other specialist. That's a whole other action that you can take in the game, and it is a choice that you are making. And you're getting more and more tokens. You're refreshing tokens. It's a really nice sense of built-in progression that the game gives to you. Even if you aren't doing many progression-related things in the game, it's nice that it will just happen based on the 6-round structure and the things that you get at the beginning of each round. So I really enjoyed that too. And last, I wanted to highlight an eco-friendly. They really went out of the way to be eco-friendly in the creation of this game. They worked with game trays to create trays that look like this. So this is a player tray. It's either paper or sugar cane pulp, something that we've worked with at Stonemaier Games. This is the tray, and I really love the use of the sleeve here. I hadn't ever thought of that, but how clever is that? Because I found in creating inserts like this, trays like this, lids don't clasp as well as plastic lids. But this tray, this sleeve acts as the lid. It acts as a better lid. And you can print information on it, which is even better. This is a really clever use of a tray. I think this is maybe the future of trays in a much more eco-friendly format. And I really want to call them out for it and congratulate them for doing this, because this was not cheap. This was more expensive, for sure, maybe even triple the amount, triple the cost than making a plastic tray. And yet it is even more useful, I would say, than a plastic tray, and far more eco-friendly because it's made out of sustainable materials. So yeah, hats off to Burnt Island Games for taking the extra effort, and Game Trays for taking the extra effort to make these eco-friendly trays. I really commend that. So yeah, those are my favorite mechanisms in Endeavor Deep Sea. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you've played this game or if you've played other similar games. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks.